Good morning, everybody. I am Priya. I welcome you all on behalf of Rus Education to this webinar. First of all, we would like to thank you for joining us for this first ever virtual Russian education fair. So as a part of this fair, we are having different sessions on different topics, which would be of very much fruitful and very much of use for our students. So the topic that we are having right now is impact of COVID-19 on education in Russia. So our panelist for the day is Marshal Dr. Pawan Kapoor, sir. He is a retired Air Marshal, Director General for Medical Services, Indian Air Force. Sir, for his introduction, I will like to read out for all of you. He has done his MBBS from AFMC Pune, MHA from AIMS, DNB Health and Hospital Administration, DHHM, MPhil, MMS, MBA, MNA, MS, and FAHA. He has been former Director General Medical Services, Indian Air Force, as I have told you, and former President Honorary Surgeon. Right now, he is serving as a Vice Chairman in Education. Sir has been one of the founder members of NABH and been chair of Technical and Accreditation and Ethics Committee. He has been a visiting faculty to AIMS, NIHFW, Public Health Foundation, and AHA. Sir has done many publications, more than 50 in national, international journals and textbooks. He has been awarded as AVSM in 2018, VSM, COAS commendation, his Order of the Royal Emblem from Sultan of Oman. Sir, now I request you to please take the stage and start with the webinar today.
Thank you very much, Priya, for your kind introduction. I'll just start sharing my screen with everybody. The topic for today is impact of COVID-19 on education in Russia. Well, today I will try to address my webinar on basically on medical education because I myself belong to this profession. Being a doctor, I can say with a lot of confidence about medical education, but whatever principles and facts that we discuss today in this webinar, they are equally applicable to education in all fields in Russia. So whatever we are discussing today, the challenges are similar and the solutions are also almost similar. Maybe a slightly more challenging for medical education, but for all other types of education, it is not so challenging. Now, the aim of this webinar is to create awareness about education in Russia and about COVID-19, to analyze various obstacles that one can come across in seeking medical education, in particular in Russia, and to analyze the impact of COVID-19 on medical education in India as well as in abroad, and to apprise all the respected participants on the efforts that have been put in by Rus Education in support of both the current and the potential students, and to address apprehensions and concerns that may be prevailing in your minds with regard to the current COVID-19 scenario. So I will just start with a brief introduction about the COVID-19 pandemic. Then I will tell what is the aim of students, particularly with regard to medical education. What is the aim of the parents? What are the obstacles that a student and the parents can come across while trying to get into medical education this year? How we can overcome those obstacles, and certain take-home messages. Now, while creating awareness, I think it is always correct to know what has been published about COVID-19. I will not venture into those WhatsApp messages and informal groups where a lot of incorrect information is being circulated. So I will not venture into that information. We should venture into that information which has been proven correct by research and which has got some value. So I will only concern myself with that part of COVID-19. We all know COVID-19 was initially is thought to have been caused by a novel coronavirus, which was later on termed as coronavirus SARS-2. Now this coronavirus SARS-2 had its origin in Wuhan in Hubei province of China in last year in December, and soon it got converted into a pandemic of immense proportions. Now, how did it spread? It spread by personal contact, by droplet infection, by way of talking, by way of coughing, by way of sneezing. So it spread like this from person to person, although it was first supposed to be there in various animals in China, and it spread from that market, but then it hopped on to the human population, and this is how it has spread now across the globe. Hardly any country is devoid or deprived of the wrath of this particular virus. This virus has respected no boundaries. It has not respected global boundaries. It has not respected state boundaries. It has not respected the gender, although it has more predilection for the male gender and especially the elderly male. It has not spared anybody irrespective of his or her economic status. It has not respected anybody irrespective of his or her caste, creed, race, or religion. It is diagnosed by virtue of symptoms. And how does it present? It presents normally as fever with cough, with shortness of breath. There are other symptoms like loss of taste, loss of smell, body aches, myalgia, loose motions, and headache. So as we get more and more experience, more and more symptoms are being recorded and coming to the forefront. It is diagnosed by the RT-PCR test, which is the correct test. There is a rapid antigen test, but even if you get the rapid antigen test negative, you still have to do the RT-PCR test to get a correct result whether you suffer from COVID-19 or not. There is no known cure for this. There are a lot of medicines which have now come into play, which are being researched upon, which are known to have some value in arresting the disease and some value in trying to prevent it from spreading or trying to prevent it from an individual. Yet we do not know the exact cure for it has yet not arrived. So the treatment is mainly symptomatic. We also know that almost 80% of the people affected remain asymptomatic. It does not affect them. You may not even come to know that you have corona infection. You might just have a common cold-like symptoms and you might become all right. So 80% remain asymptomatic or mildly infective. Out of remaining 20%, only about 10 to 12% required hospitalization care. And out of this 10 to 12%, around 5% require ICU care. And what is the care? Care is nothing giving antihistaminic, that is giving you treatment for managing your symptoms, to trying to maintain your vital parameters till the time your body gets rid of the virus. As on date, we have a lot of vaccine claimants. There are a lot of people who have developed vaccine and they are under various phases of trials. And we are very hopeful that sooner or later we'll get vaccines in the commercial market. To prevent it from spreading, we know that we have to maintain social distancing of 6 feet. We know that we have to have various etiquettes for managing your cough and for managing your sneezing. You should put on masks. Without mask, you should not travel outside your house. If you have somebody who has got symptoms in your house, that person is to be put under home quarantine, and both of you should be wearing masks to prevent it from spreading from each other. You must continue to clean your surroundings. You must have proper cross ventilation in your houses. So based upon these 3-4 factors, you can prevent it from spreading from one person to another. The prognosis, as I told you, 80% become well. There is no problem about them. The young and the healthy people are not affected that much. As I told you, it has got great predilection for elderly males. All those above 60 years have to be careful. The mortality rate is to the tune of almost 3 to 5%, but it is more so in the elderly age group, more so in those who have got various other comorbidities like diabetes, high blood pressure, or else you have other problems like you're suffering from cancer, other immunocompromised states, or cardiac diseases. So all those things put together, your immune system becomes weak and the prognosis becomes slightly less better as compared to those who are young and healthy. So this is a brief about COVID-19. Now coming to, let us see now, all of you are students and all of you are parents who will be attending this. So I welcome you all and a very good morning to all of you for attending this webinar. I know what the students are aiming. There, most of the students who want to become doctors, they have a dream that they should become a doctor from a good, recognized and reputed university. And what is this aim required today? I think it is a very much required aim. And if you are pursuing this aim, don't give it up. Because I'll tell you as a doctor, the pleasure you have when there is a childbirth and you see the joy on the faces of parents, it cannot be expressed in words. It can only be felt and perceived. Similarly, the satisfaction of seeing smiles on the faces of the mothers when they visit you in your clinic and just to tell you, Dr. Saab, thank you very much. My child has recovered thanks to you, to your medicines, your efforts. We know that we only can care. The cure is generally in the hands of God, but that support that we can give to the parents and that satisfaction that we see, it cannot be described. No amount of material gains can deprive you of this satisfaction, can actually bring you that type of satisfaction which you see on the faces of cured patients and mothers. Similarly, the happiness you bring to the lives of so many families by saving the lives of their near and dear ones, for relieving discomforts and curing illness, and the contribution you make to the society by promoting health and preventing diseases. So if your aim is to become somebody in the medical profession, please never give it up. It's a very noble profession. It earns you a lot of respect. The world and India both need lot of doctors. We also know that medical education is affordable and available to all. It is one of the most noble and most respectful profession that you can ever lay your hands on. And you have tremendous career opportunities. You can be a general physician, you can be a family physician, you can also be a geriatric physician looking after old people. You can be a gynecologist, you can be a child specialist, you can be a cardiologist, a gastroenterologist. There is a whole wide range of spectrums which can range from microbiology to infectious disease expert. You can imagine the range which you have got of career opportunities across the globe, not only in the country. You can have administrative qualifications and look after the administration when you grow elder and when you grow bigger, when you get fed up of your professional career and you want to do something more better, you can get into administration for organizing the healthcare delivery system in the country. Like a present health minister, he is an ENT specialist, a renowned ENT specialist. And see, today he is organizing the entire healthcare delivery system of the country. So you can imagine how many opportunities you get to serve the humanity. They are, innumerable. And of course, it leads to personal growth. So please, if you have a dream of becoming a doctor, don't leave it because of obstacles. Pursue that dream. You are wanted, you are needed, you can make significant contribution to society. So please pursue with your dream of becoming a doctor. Now, what is the aim of the parents? What do the parents look for? The parents want that their ward's dream should be materialized. But for that, they also are very practical people. They have to ensure that they get good quality education. If it is medical education, it should be good quality medical education. Any other education, they want that should be good quality, which should lead to the holistic development of their wards, of their children, and the cost should be affordable. They also want that they should make all efforts to remove all obstacles that can likely arise during the pursuit of the dreams of their children. Now, this is the aim of the parents. So what are the obstacles? Now, the first obstacle is getting qualifying marks in class 12. I think all of you must have got your class 12 results, whether it is your state boards, whether it is open boards, or whether it is CBSE or ICSE. The second obstacle is qualifying NEET if you want to pursue your medical education, because that is mandatory to get into any medical school. The third obstacle is getting admission in a desired medical college. And the fourth obstacle is the current COVID-19 pandemic crisis. So they are the four obstacles. Let us see them one by one. Before we move on, let me first give you a prelude that obstacles don't have to stop. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. You must figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. So if there are obstacles, you should be able to overcome them, not be overcome by them. And it reminds me of one of the famous swimmer who actually crossed the English Channel in her second attempt. In her first attempt, while she was going across the English Channel, swimming across the English Channel, that young girl, she felt that now my arms are tiring. There is so much of cold weather. There is so much of mist. I can't see anything. I am tiring myself. I am getting tired. I am getting tired. I may not drown. So she raised her hand in panic, and the lifeboat came and picked her up. And then to her horror, she realized that the completion line was just 200 meters ahead. What happened to her? She got overcome by the obstacles because she felt tired. She did not see the goal. She saw the environment. So much of mist, so much cloud, cold water, weather becoming chilly, arms are tiring, I am tiring. So she gave up. Next time when she went through it, she never cared about the obstacles and she cleared it in record time. So when she was asked in her interview, how did you manage this? She said, the first time the obstacles overcame me. The second time I overcame the obstacles. So therefore, we have to not worry about the obstacles, but we should be aware of the obstacles so that we can find out our ways and means to either go through them or to work our way around them. So let us see, the first obstacle is class 12 examinations. Now we all know, to be eligible for NEET, as per your category, whether you belong to unreserved category or you belong to physically challenged category, or you belong to the category of OBC or SC or ST, you have different qualifying marks for physics, chemistry, biology or biotechnology for getting into NEET examination for qualifying purposes. Now to do that, you have to get 50% marks in your physics, chemistry, biology or biotechnology as combined and a pass mark in English language. That is your first thing. That is for an unreserved category. For those of unreserved category who are physically challenged, they are required to get around 45%. For all other categories, including physically challenged, it is 40%. Combined marks in physics, chemistry, biology or biotechnology, and a pass mark in English language. There are obstacles in terms of upper age limit, an additional subject, and the eligibility of those candidates who are passing from open schools or they are appearing as private candidates. Now, as on date, all these categories are permitted to appear for NEET, subject to the outcome of the special leave petition which has been filed by the Medical Council of India in the Honorable Supreme Court. But whatever directions come in this, whatever decision comes, it will not be applicable retrospectively, it will be applicable only prospectively. So all of these categories as on date are eligible to appear for NEET. Now all of your class 12 examination results must have been out. All of you are now knowing about your eligibility criteria. In case you find you are not eligible, there is a system for taking an improvement examination, and you can retake the examination to get a better percentage so that you become eligible the next time onwards. The obstacle number 2 is of course the NEET examinations. This year I can fully understand the problems being faced by the students. When will NEET 2020 be held? From May to July, not to 13th of September. Will it be held? Correct questions. And these questions may affect your preparation, may affect your emotional quotient, may affect your psyche. But should you worry about them? That is not your worry. That is the worry of the National Testing Agency. They will decide based upon the prevailing conditions whether it will be held or it will not be held. If it will not be held, then what will be the mechanism of admissions into the various medical schools? All this is their responsibility. It is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to continue to study, knowing the fact that NEET examination will be held, because there is no other way wherein you can have a standardized system of selection into medical colleges. This is the only standardized system. Otherwise, there are different marking patterns in open schools, in private candidates, in intermediate and in state board examinations, in your CBSE and ICSE examinations. So you cannot standardize that. What you can standardize is the common examination. Therefore, take it from me, most likely NEET 2020 will be held. When will it be held? At present, it is being held on 13th September. So the matter is closed. Till the time we don't get any other news, it is being held in time on the 13th of September. You don't have to worry about anything else. It is presently offline. It will be held offline. Let us take it that way. You must also understand that your role is to prepare for it and qualify in NEET. And I can assure you, qualifying NEET is not a rocket science. It requires commitment. It requires how badly you want to pursue your dream of becoming a doctor. Also, all of you who are attending this webinar, please understand, this is the time to prepare and not worry when it will be held. Why? Because many of you will probably feel there is no point this year, there is going to be no NEET examination, to keep on getting postponed, so let us relax. Moment you relax, you let your guards down, and to come back to the same scale of preparation takes a lot of time. So continue to prepare, have a time frame now and act on it. Just focus on your NCERT textbooks, try to understand the sentences, read between the lines, go through all the diagrams, go through all these italics, all those things in italics, in small word that is given there, go through the glossary, go through the questions asked, go through the various matching questions asked in the NCERT textbooks. Complete the NCERT textbooks. By now, it should be on your fingertips. Do as many mock tests as feasible. That will increase your speed and give you experience, and also give you an idea about your strengths and weaknesses, so that you can focus more on your weaknesses to improve them and ensure that your strengths become stronger. On the date of the examination, remain calm and relaxed. Do not panic. And as far as feasible, wherever you have a doubt, leave those questions till a future time, because you should try and avoid negative marking. Now, so what if you qualify NEET? Supposing NEET is held and you qualify NEET, you all know there are around 16 lakhs applicants for NEET 2020. Out of these, approximately 8.8 lakhs will qualify NEET examination because of 50 percentile and the 40 and the 45 percentile as applicable to various categories. So total number of MBBS seats available in India around 80,000, public and private being approximately in the ratio of 50%. And I know we all dream to get a seat in our government medical college. And you can see the data here from 2017 till 2020. In 2017, almost 11 lakh students applied, out of which 6 lakh students qualified. In 18, 13 lakhs applied, out of which 7 lakhs qualified. In 19, 15 lakhs applied, around 79 lakhs qualified, 7 lakhs qualified. And this year, around 16 lakhs, that is 15 lakh 94,000 applied. And we hope we'll get around 8 lakh 80,000 who will qualify NEET. But seats are limited. This year, the seats are around 80,000. In 2017, there were 63,000. 2018, they came down. Then again, 2019, they went up to 63,000. So you can see that for each seat, There are about 10 students to 14 students who are competing for that seat. So we understand the difficulty. So supposing 80,000 do get their seats of choice, what happens to the next rest of the students? Should you give up your dream? Should you go into depression, start despairing, mera nahi hua, I could not make it, I am worthless, I am useless? No, there is no need to despair. You have still plenty to choose from and achieve your dreams. And definitely if you are NEET qualified, you can travel to Russia to realize your dreams. This may be an opportunity that may open many more international avenues for yourself. You can become a global physician. There's so many opportunities that will be knocking at your doors. You will have a multi-ethnic culture. You will be able to deal with more confidence because you have come back from a foreign country where you have dealt with other people. You have learned their culture, you have imbibed their culture, they have imbibed yours. You'll be able to better interact with your patients and colleagues. So you can become a person with a holistic personality. So therefore, no need to despair. You can become a global physician by traveling to Russia to realize your dreams. But you still have the fear of COVID and traveling abroad. I can understand that. So your next question is it safe? So next obstacle is about COVID-19. We are all having apprehension of COVID-19. Believe me, anybody says who's not apprehensive is lying to himself or herself. We all have apprehensions about COVID-19. Will I become serious? Will I get into ICU? What will happen if I have a problem? The cases are increasing across the globe. It's an increasing trend. Total number of cases on a daily basis in India is varying between 57 to 67,000 per day. There is too much information and equal amount of misinformation about the disease, which is making us more and more apprehensive. Even organizations like WHO are one day making one statement, then other day retracting the statement, third day making another statement, because nobody is sure of what exactly the trend this virus is taking. There are millions of scientific papers with limited sample size and inadequate and inappropriate peer reviews available on the internet. And these so many reasons available, people are confused. And this is what is this exposure to so much of information is making everyone very, very apprehensive. Now see, here are the apprehensions I've collected from some of the potential students. Sir, all institutions are closed, travel is banned, admissions are affected, and there is so much uncertainty about NEET 2020. Should I go? I've already told you that do not worry about NEET 2020. You worry about your preparation. And institutions are not closed. Institutions are opened. At present, institutions in Russia are closed for vacations, but they will open. And there are various means to address your apprehensions, which I'll come back a bit later. Second is, I am unwilling to pay deposits now for the study year of 2020-21 because I am worried that the coronavirus will not be over and I may lose my money. No, you will never lose your money. If you do not join, your money shall be refunded. So you don't have to worry about losing your money. And we do not know about coronavirus, so I'll tell you what will happen to coronavirus as per the scientific evidences that is available. Another apprehension is COVID-19 has spread across the globe, and so the airlines have stopped the incoming and outgoing of passengers of all countries. My family is now scared to send anyone anywhere, be it a foreign nation or even for just a trip to the grocery store. Even if I am willing, my parents will not agree to send me to Russia. Or the coronavirus has spread its tentacles in all the countries. My parents are scared to send me abroad. Very genuine, because parents are always worried first about the health of their ones. Very genuine concern. But as I told you, when I come to the subsequent slide, how I'll try to remove your apprehension, that these apprehensions are genuine but misplaced. Misplaced because of wrong information that is being circulated. The same thing is here by some apprehension by some students. I am afraid of going abroad nowadays. The world is going to face an economic collapse. So education could become costly. this would be unbearable for my family as well as for me. So please don't worry, because this is the only year where none of the education institutions are going to increase their fees. They will continue to take admissions as per the old fee structure. So this is the time to avail this opportunity. So don't worry about this issue. Almost every country has stopped taking foreign students, which is not true, because every country is not stopped. They are actually inviting foreign students to come. And there's a reason behind it, which I shall come to later. It will create a long line of scholarship candidates, because I do not have extraordinary result or merit. All I have is a mentality of hard work and a dream to do something. If you have that mentality of hard work and a dream to do something, then don't have to worry about your extraordinary result or merit, because medicine requires hard work and a dream. And scholarships are being offered by various universities from time to time. You will get your opportunity. One of the reasons and one of the background for those scholarships are also economic status. So maybe you can get the scholarship which you think you should get. So I fully understand that apprehension is natural and it is easily comprehensible and understandable. But let us see the statistics. As per data, till date, no student has been adversely affected in current pandemic across the globe. And as far as the Russian students sent by Rus Education to Russia, there have been not a single case of any such serious COVID-19. There has been no case of COVID-19, let me put it that way. As time passes, the virulence of this virus will go down. It will remain in the community like any other flu virus. This is not what I am saying. This is what the scientific community is saying. We also know a vaccine is just around the corner. Russia just announced a vaccine. The honorable president of Russia has already announced that a vaccine is there, and his own daughter has been inoculated with this vaccine. So I think this apprehension about COVID-19 coming as an obstacle should not be an obstacle for you to pursue your dream career abroad. So do not waste a year of your child, or no student should waste a year just because of these apprehensions. Let your wards prepare for the qualifying examination for NEET 2020 and utilize this additional time. Do not waste your hard-earned money on colleges that you cannot afford. So if you cannot afford a private college, there is no point in putting your hard-earned money in your private college. You can always opt for education abroad. The fees, as I told you earlier, are not likely to be increased this year. So avail the opportunity. Do not miss it. And India and abroad are likely to be similarly placed for your wards, because you all are scared about FMG examinations. FMG examination is now going to be called next by the time your ward comes back, and next is applicable for both domestic as well as foreign qualified graduates. Next is the national exit test, which the government has announced from the National Medical Commission, which has now superseded the earlier Medical Council of India. So they have announced this test, the mechanism of conducting this test are being laid down, and this will be applicable to all medical graduates who are coming from India or coming from abroad after acquiring the qualification. So you are at the same platform. So let us see why we should not be afraid of COVID. First and foremost, coronavirus is here to stay. Let us accept it. With each passing day, its virulence is coming down and will continue to come down. As you can see that the mortality rate is coming down. If you take the necessary precautions, as I told you, that is proper hand hygiene, maintaining social distance, keeping good wearing of mask, and making adequate precautions while coughing, sneezing, and disinfecting your areas locally by your locally available disinfecting and cleaning agents, including soap and water. So that if you take these precautions, the chances of infections become much less. With precautions, even if you get infected, the viral load will be minimal and you are likely to remain asymptomatic or experience only mild flu-like symptoms. So there is no need to be afraid. We know that vaccine is just around the corner. The knowledge of the disease and the means of managing the same has increased dramatically and several folds. Even though the number of cases are increasing, the mortality rate is coming down. Lockdowns are either easing or being removed. So if you take the precautions, the chances of infections are becoming much lesser. Okay. With precautions, even if you get infected, the viral load will be minimal and you are likely to remain asymptomatic or have only mild flu-like symptoms. You have to be careful, but don't have to be fearful. And also, coronavirus is not known to cause any significant adverse impact on young, healthy individuals. Most of the people in the age group of 18 to 40 who have been infected have remained asymptomatic. Not my data, it is data across the globe. Risk is much lesser in younger people as the risk is much more in older people who are more vulnerable to becoming severely ill with this virus, and especially those who have got pre-existing medical conditions, as I told you, like obesity, asthma, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, cancer. The overall mortality due to the virus is just about 3 to 5%, but below 30 years, it is insignificant, that is less than 0.2 to 0.4%. However, just because the mortality is less, it does not preclude the younger generation from taking precautions. They must continue to take the precautions as we have earlier highlighted. Now, do you think it should stop you from traveling to Russia for your educational needs? So let me tell you, it cannot be there is no fear of travel. Traveling abroad in sanitized aircrafts with proper PPE, that is personal protective equipment, which is given to you, and maintaining social distance, which all international carriers are obliged to do, will not produce additional risk. We have got majority of our children from Russia on vacations through chartered aircrafts back to India. They are all safe with not a single problem. You might think, somebody who are more scientifically inclined, they might think, oh, aircraft is a confined space, very easy to spread the virus. No, if you are maintaining your hand hygiene and putting on your mask, you are not going to be affected by the air in the aircraft, because this air has been very scientifically circulated, with whole air being renewed every 2 to 3 minutes, and then it is sucked out through vents on the floor and passed through very high efficiency particular air filters. These are similar to those which are used in hospitals, and they can easily be able to control the spread of SARS coronavirus 2. Okay, so don't have to worry about the confined space in the aircraft. Okay, you can go to all these places where too many cases are there, but we will just come to one issue that we must, if you have to become a doctor, you should study MBBS in Russia. Why? There are many reasons which we shall discuss, but I'll tell you what special facilities for COVID situation have been done by Russian universities. Universities are adhering strictly to the guidelines mentioned by Ministry of Health of Russia. All the classes during this COVID-19 crisis have been held online. Hostels have been kept open all through. Indian students continue to get all the services within the hostel premises which they were getting before the lockdowns. There's an online access to the library. There have been online discussions with teachers and doubt clearing sessions, and all of them underwent an online examination. For Rus education also, it is strictly observing guidelines issued by the respective universities and the Ministry of Health and Indian Embassy. Maintaining hygiene and sanitation within student hostel premises. Daily interaction of a coordinator with the students. Providing sanitizers and masks to the students. Whenever they have to go out, they are going out if required under emergency situation is also being monitored, and coming back in is also being monitored. And we have ensured continuity of academic activities and provided online foreign medical graduate examination coaching. Online FMG coaching facility and study material have been provided to all students. Video conferencing between parents, student coordinators, staff and students of all universities were carried out at regular intervals. We opened a helpline number on the RUS Education website. Daily visit by doctors, daily monitoring of hostels by the coordinators and these batch captains, and regular interaction with Indian Embassy. As a result, our students remained safe, did not catch any infection. They came back hale and hearty to their homes through the chartered aircraft that we arranged with the support of the Indian Embassy. Now, having said all this, let us see and presume there's a worst case scenario. What is the worst case scenario? Corona continues unabated and unhindered. International travel continues to remain banned. Your ward or your student after need qualification cannot get a seat in India, or the seat that he gets in India is unaffordable. In the previous attempts, the NEET score was similar. So the student has gone into total despair and despondency. So should he give up his dreams? Or should you, student, give up your dreams just because the situations are unfavorable? We must remember that situations in life are never favorable. If this year there is Corona, next year there may be some other financial issue. After that, there may be some other issue. Maybe could not prepare well. So situation will never be favorable. You have to make them favorable. So we have an option for it. The option in worst case scenarios, we have agreements with the universities which are offering you admissions in universities of your choice. Therein, the first semester will continue online. The assessments will be done online. The oral examinations will be done online. The student shall travel once the situation is under control, and maybe you are able to get your vaccination done by that time, by the time the first semester ends. So COVID should not stop. Why? The pandemic will wither away. This too shall pass, and people will learn to live with it. The flu pandemic, Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 did go away. It continues to stay as a flu, but with very less mortality and very less impact. Okay, this will happen to this pandemic as well. But academic pursuit of your ward should not be allowed to wither away. Make use of this time and opportunity. So grab the opportunities which come your way and you will be successful. Why I say this opportunity? All of you are listening to this webinar, please ensure you appear for NEET, you qualify NEET, you get a good medical college in India, go and join it. You need to travel abroad, please don't hesitate, travel abroad. Because the competition is going to be less. Many people are going to, out of apprehension, are not going to appear for the examination. Many people will lose the opportunity of getting the affordable seat in foreign university because of their apprehension. So opportunities will be aplenty. Make use of this time and opportunity. If you qualify NEET, please qualify NEET. Choose a medical college of your choice as per your merit and affordability. We are assisting the students now by providing resource material and mock tests for NEET 2020. We are arranging more webinars conducted by experts to guide students for qualifying NEET. We are providing end-to-end solutions to ensure that the dream of parents and students is realized. And we give an assurance of safety of awards with all preventive measures, even if COVID menace does not subside. So we will train the students about facing coronavirus before their departure. Our representatives are in universities for continuous support. We assure that the rooms allotted to students are properly sanitized before their arrival. We assure that the luggage will be sanitized on arrival. The transport in which the students travel from airport to the respective universities will be sanitized. And an organization has made a COVID-specific call regarding various steps to be taken during student travel and their stay in Russia. This is a survey which we did about willingness to go abroad. In April, around 45% of the students surveyed were willing to go abroad. In May, it came down to almost 37%. In June, it went up to 51%. In July to 64%. And see the encouraging trend. As on 1st of August, there were 72% of the students who were willing to go abroad. So this is a healthy sign. So there are so many, you're not alone. Everybody knows that the young and healthy are not going to be affected adversely by the virus. So why take a chance? Why lose an opportunity? Yes, preventive measures have to be followed. So my take home message for all of you is, in pursuing your aim of becoming a doctor, the path has never been easy and it's never going to be easy. There will be thorns. You are not going to have only rose. If you want a rose, you have to bear with the thorns. You have to qualify the NEET examination. Seats are limited, but options abroad in Russia are available in plenty. Corona should not be a limiting factor in your career choices. I have already explained you why. In your life as a doctor, if you want to be a doctor, remember these challenges will be coming many times. We'll be facing these challenges, you'll be facing, a lot of epidemics, you'll be facing a lot of natural disasters, you'll be facing a lot of man-made disasters. So these challenges will keep coming. You cannot run away from challenges and obstacles, because the more you run away from them, the more they will follow you. You have to find ways and means to prepare and plan for overcoming all challenges. You have to be careful, but not fearful. Okay, so if you qualify, if your wards qualify and are unable to get admission in an affordable medical college of their choice in India, do not hesitate to choose government recognized, MCI registered, globally accredited, good quality, affordable medical colleges in Russia. We assure you accurate and precise information on safety, health and security of your wards. In the webinars, all the in the Russian education fair, you will see a lot of stalls. Please go and visit those stalls. Talk to the counselors. Get your doubts cleared. You still have doubts, remain in touch with them. We shall remain in touch with you, because we believe in providing credible, accurate, end-to-end solutions to your needs. So don't give up on your dreams. Pursue your dreams with greater vigor that I have in me and myself, that I can face all challenges. It is commonly said, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So you have to be tough about it and remove all apprehensions, because there is no reason for you to be apprehensive. Okay. So pursue your education in Russia. It is economical, affordable and safe. COVID is in a declining phase in Russia, as you can see from the data that you can go to the Worldometer and see how COVID is declining phase in Russia. Russia has already developed a vaccine for corona, which is in its final phases of launch. Russian universities, believe me when I say this, have taken good care of the students, and we have facilities for online classes in case you are not able to go in the first semester. We have our very good empathetic counselors who are there for you to guide you at every step to help you overcome all obstacles and achieve your dream of getting quality education in Russia. Please visit their stalls. Please see them, talk to them, take as many inputs as you want, and get your apprehensions sorted out, so that at the end of it, you know when you appear for NEET that in case you do not get a dream college of your choice in India, you can get a dream college of your choice in Russia. I would recommend book your seat now, because at that point of time, the time frame for joining might be less, and because of more demand, the supply might become less. So book your seats now and appear for your NEET in a very uncluttered and confident manner. So challenges are what makes life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life more meaningful. Okay, so thank you very much. I have finished. Thank you all for listening.